Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be doing a side-by-side comparison between the LG Reflect and the Moto G Power. Both of these here are on Straight Talk Wireless, and I'll basically just be giving you my opinion on which one you should pick up. So let's get it started. Okay, so before I get started, I want to say that if these phones were like $100 difference in price, there'd be a lot more to say in this video. There would be more to compare and stuff like that, but they're so close in price that it's not very hard for me to sit here and tell you which one I recommend from the beginning. However, I want to give you the specs of both devices, and then we'll take just a quick look at it, and then I'll give you my recommendation. Now, looking here at the LG Reflect specs, which is this phone right here, you have a 6.5-inch 720 by 1560 display. It's HD plus display with an aspect ratio of 19 by 9 with a 269 ppi. For the processor, you have a MediaTek Helio P22 octa-core processor with 3 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of storage. Now for the camera, you got a 13 megapixel standard angle lens with an aperture of f1.8, a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera with an aperture of f2.2, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Video recording maxes out at 1080p at 30 frames per second. The front camera has a 13 megapixel camera that can record at 1080p 30 frames per second only. For the battery, you got a 4000 milliamp hour battery that has no fast charging. Phone also has a rear fingerprint scanner, stereo speakers, DTS-X 3D surround sound, USB-C, Bluetooth 5.0, and runs Android 9 Pie. And the price is $149.99. Now moving over here to the Moto G Power. Now for the display, we have a 6.4-inch Max Vision 1080 by 2300 resolution display with a 19 by 9 aspect ratio, 399 pixels per inch, and both of these phones here have the IPS LCD displays. Now as far as the processor goes, the Moto G Power runs the Snapdragon 665 processor with 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. Now for the camera, we got a 16 megapixel wide lens with aperture of f1.7, an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens with an aperture of f2.2, and a 2 megapixel macro lens with an aperture of f2.2. Video is 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080 at 60 frames per second max. Front camera is a 16 megapixel wide angle lens with an aperture of f2.0, and the front camera resolution is 1080p. The battery is a 5000 milliamp hour battery with 10 watt fast charge. Also includes a rear mounted fingerprint scanner, stereo speakers, Dolby Atmos, Bluetooth 5.0, USB-C, and Android 10 for a price of $179.99. So listening to those specs here, it's pretty easy right now to go ahead and tell you which one I'd recommend out of both of these devices. Now, both of them are running the stock launcher. And now, both of these phones, if you use them for just average, basic usage, both of them are going to do very well, okay? If you do like social media, taking pictures, taking video, they're going to do fine. The cameras on here are decent. The cameras on here are pretty good. And overall, the performance for light usage, you ain't gonna see much difference. However, when you get into the gaming, you get into heavier social media, you wanna, you got stock Android here, LG skin here, which kind of slows it down a little bit. But, when heavier gaming, heavier usage, you're gonna see a much more slowdown here on the LG Reflect over the Moto G Power. Now, I want to give you just a look here at some Geekbench 5 scores. And you're going to see a score here of 139 single core and 489 multi-core here on the LG Reflect running Android 9, 307 single core and 1369 multi-core here, and Android 10 on the Moto G Power. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest here. That's some pretty pathetic scores, okay? Now, for the 665 processor, that's pretty average, 307 single core. Multi-core just demolishes it here. Compared to the LG Reflect, but you're going to tell a big difference. Now, I've been checking for software updates on these phones here, Android 9, Android 10, and, Straight Talk really don't necessarily update many of their phones. However, I did receive an update on the G Power. To give it I think it was the July 1st security patch. And there's no updates whatsoever on the LG Reflect. But brutally honest here, okay? Using these devices, I want to hit on some things here. First of all, is call quality and reception. In my testing, the Motorola destroys the LG Reflect as far as reception goes. I've noticed more bars. I've noticed better LTE than the Reflect. Now, as far as call quality goes, they're about on par. Both of them sound pretty good. There is a plastic back design here on the Moto G Power. I still haven't found out what the LG Reflect is made out of. It just says premium material. I can't find anywhere if it's made of glass, or I have no idea. But triple camera setups on the rear there, flash, rear mounted fingerprint scanners, both of them are USB-C, both have stereo speakers. However, I have to give the sound quality to the Moto G Power. And, I mean, both displays look good. However, you know, you got a 720p display here on the LG and a 1480p display here on the Moto G Power. And with that 665 processor, you get an extra gigabyte of RAM, you get double the storage, you got Android 10, and a stock experience. The front camera, a little notch here on the LG, and you have the little display hole punch there on the Moto G Power. Now, as far as camera experiences go, I've just not taken many pictures with either phone. However, you know, the little pictures I've taken here and there, little video samples, Moto has it. The Moto just, I mean, it's just too grainy here on the LG if you're not in extremely bright lighting. But I've noticed that the Moto G Power does better as far as taking video, taking pictures. It just seems to be better. You got 4K recording over here, 1080p recording over here. 4K does not mean nothing to me, but I know it is important to some. So I thought I'd mention that there. Both of them have headphone jacks. Fast charging here on the Moto G Power. No fast charging here on the LG Reflect. And like I said, if these phones like $100 apart, I would be like, yeah, I would probably grab this one, you know, over the G Power because of the price difference. But you're looking at a price difference of only $30. I would much rather save my money and pay $30 more and go with the Moto G Power. My pick is 100% Moto G Power. I would just leave this phone to the side. If I seen it in the store, I would be like, nope, no thank you, and go with the Moto G Power. Now, if you are just a diehard LG fan, then yeah, here you go. There you go. Old processor, less RAM, you know, less storage. Now, some may say, oh, you're being biased. No, I bought both of these phones with my own money, okay? If I buy phones with my own money or a phone is sent to me, I'm going to give you the real on both of these devices. I don't care if it's sent to me, if I buy them, whatever. You're going to get the truth from me, just the way it is. And my pick for $30 difference is the Moto G Power. It's just a better overall phone. 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 4,000 milliamp hour battery, fast charging, no fast charging. The battery is killer here on the Moto G Power. It lasts and lasts. You're going to get much better battery out of the G Power than you are the LG Reflect. And, you know, 6.4 inch display here and 6.5 inch display here. And side by side, you can see that the, you know, LG Reflect is bigger and it feels a bit wider than the Moto G Power. But to be honest with you, for a difference of $30, I would really honestly just skip out. I've done a speed test comparison on both of these devices. I'll leave it up here in a card or down below in the description somewhere if you want to check that out, or just search my channel and you should be able to find it, and you'll see the speed test comparison there between these two devices. I'm not saying that the LG is a terrible phone, because it's not. It's just that for $149 versus $179, I can't sit here and recommend the LG Reflect when this phone here is going to give you much more performance, more RAM, more storage, better processor, better cameras, better battery, better display for $30 more. I cannot sit here and say to buy the LG Reflect when this phone is a few dollars more. So I know it was kind of, you know, scattered, but the G Power, it's just got it in every way, shape, and fashion. Gameplay is better, smoother. nothing more to say. So hopefully informative in any way, hit that like button. Leave your comments below. I would like to hear them. And subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell for notifications, because apparently notifications just ain't going out. So hit that bell. Make sure you press all to get all the latest content. So, yeah, that's it. Which one are you going to pick? Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching.